Which county department had 732,000 visitors last year? Find out next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host Eric Gill, Communications Division Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to be reading into the progress with the St. Lucie County Library System with my guests, St. Lucie County Commissioner Chris Sadowski, Library Director Susan Jacob, and Friends of the Library Treasurer Patrick Pinckney. But before we meet our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements for the Board of County Commissioners. St. Lucie County offices, libraries, and facilities will be closed Tuesday, December 24th and Wednesday, December 25th in observance of Christmas, as well as Wednesday, January 1st for New Year's Day. The U.S. Census Bureau is currently recruiting thousands of workers for temporary jobs available nationwide in advance of the 2020 census, including positions right here on the Treasure Coast. If you're looking for temporary employment, check out the Census Bureau's website at 2020census.gov/jobs. And when you receive your census survey in the spring of 2020, be sure to count every person living in your home, as local governments stand to lose $1,600 in federal funds for every person not counted. Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov. If you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. We also hope you'll follow us on social media at St. Lucie Gov on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works. Tourism slipped slightly in December thanks to Hurricane Dorian. St. Lucie County's bed tax revenue decreased by almost 8% in September compared to the same time last year. Overall building activity dropped by 14% in September compared to August, with 729 permits issued, while revenue for September increased by 2%, generating more than $282,000, which is above the yearly average. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in September was $238,000, up 3.5% from last year, while condos decreased in value by 3% with the median price at roughly $210,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate dropped in September to 3.7% compared to August's 4.4%. Statewide, the unemployment rate dipped to 3%. There were 4,800 more jobs on the Treasure Coast compared to last year, with the largest gains in professional services and leisure and hospitality, tied for first with 1,300, construction with 1,200, and education and health services with 1,000. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit the CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner Chris Sadowski. Commissioner, thanks for coming on. And Friends of the Library Secretary Patrick Pinckney.
Treasurer.
Treasurer. I'm sorry, not Secretary.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Although you always give the financial reports at the annual meetings.
Yes.
But that is the Treasurer's job, not the Secretary.
But that's all right. I've sort of done a little bit of everything. So.
And you've been on the board for a while. I mean, I've been at those annual dinners taking pictures for a few years now. And how long have you been on the Friends Board?
I wish I could tell you the exact number, but I don't know because I actually started off as the attorney for the board, and I enjoyed sitting in. And so it's probably been about 15 or 20 years. Okay. It's been a while.
And Commissioner, the Friends of the Library is different than the Library Advisory Board, correct?
Correct, yeah. They're a fundraising tool, so to speak, and actually have been instrumental in keeping our libraries open when we had the recession. I mean, there was a time when we had to close the libraries down to just a couple days a week. And that was the worst time to do that because the citizens needed it the most, whether they had computer access or being able to do job applications and things of that nature. And so I'm just going to kind of go back to 2010. We had a...
That's not...
Well, I know, but Zora Neale Hurston Library, all right? We were looking to expand that library, and there was some opposition to opening it up or doing the expansion. And because we had the impact fees and able to do that, it was actually the best time to do that in a way of cost. The
From
cost
the
was much
construction
less.
standpoint.
Right. But there was argument back the other way is, well, if you do that, then you're going to have to put the administration in there. And that's where the Friends came in. And if it wasn't for them, we would have had an empty library for a period of time. But we were able to do that in probably one of the most needy of neighborhoods for those services.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, well, even in addition to that, at the same time, we were happy to help because one of my issues is I don't always want to think of us as fundraisers, but I'd like to think of us as a support organization so that we try to provide any type of assistance that we can to augment whatever is not in the county's budget and whatever the people need. We are a 501c3 organization, and so we do accept funds. We do try to raise funds. We always appreciate people actually making donations to us, and we've been very fortunate. We've had over the course of the years several people who have made substantial donations, and that has allowed us to go out and to do some of the things that you've talked about. For example, trying to keep those 3 branches of the library open when they would have had to have been closed because of budgetary constraints. But we appreciate supporting you, Commissioner.
Well, we are great.
Let's talk about the different fundraising efforts. You know, the annual dinner every year, it's usually in November. That is one of your fundraising benefits for the Friends, and it's your annual meeting, so you guys kind of set your new slate of officers.
We try to do a couple of things with that meeting. It is actually our annual meeting for our members, and we actually expand our membership because included in your fee, if you come to that dinner, is a membership as a friend of the library. Yeah. And so we try to do that. We also try to bring someone interesting into the community so that people will enjoy it and want to participate, and that they'll recognize the benefits that the library provides. We don't always make as much as we would like to on that, but
it's a one-night event. You never know; it's hit or miss.
Exactly,
sometimes.
and if sometimes when we get really big speakers, then we actually do very well. So We're always pleased to do that.
And then throughout the year, I know there's book sales too. When if people have old DVDs or movies, not VHS tapes anymore. We've got those off the shelves. But hardback books, they can donate them to the library. They go to the Friends, and then the Friends will sell those, and then that in turn creates revenue.
Absolutely, and we actually, I would say we do fairly decently, and that money is typically used to pay for things that are needed, like a book drop, or if they need a refrigerator at a particular library. That money actually does very well in terms of trying to supplement them in those types of things.
Sure. And at your last meeting, the numbers are pretty good for the Friends from a fundraising standpoint?
You know, our economy has done well, so the money that we've had actually has it's grown as we've held on to it, and so that what we've expended has actually grown. It's been replaced by the growth in the economy. So we've done fairly well there. We've got right now approximately $1.2 million that is in our treasury. But we certainly use it for a multitude of things. One of the things that we do is, as I said, we try to supplement the needs of the library, but we also try to make sure that we take care of the needs of the citizens. So we put copy machines in the libraries, and we pay for those. Certainly there's a charge still because we have to pay the rent on them and the insurance, but we do put those in there. We also try to sponsor or assist in the sponsoring of the summer reading programs for the kids, and we try to assist our librarians in terms of getting further education so that if they make a commitment to stay to the library, then we will help them with some type of scholarship once they've completed their education.
I will say the volunteer group is incredible, and the librarians themselves, they're so committed.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody there is committed, and anybody that I've seen walk in and out of the library have just said, wow, this is in St. Lucie County, and it's a great part of what we provide in the quality of life. And again, thank you to the Friends.
No, absolutely. We think it's extremely important to try to get the name of the library, the recognition of our various libraries out there in the community. I get very jealous if I hear anybody else advertising their library. I think we've got to do the same thing. So I do want to
let me know. I'll do a better job. Because I've not been shy. The library is definitely my favorite department.
You've been fantastic.
They're the easiest to work with. They plan ahead. They reach out to me. They keep me, informed of what's going on, and make my job
absolutely
easier.
Fantastic, Eric, and we appreciate you. And I also give a lot of credit to Sue Susan Jacob.
yes.
I think she has been an absolute fantastic director. And we loved Susan Kilmer even before.
Absolutely, yeah. But the staff,
Yeah,
I think
it's
over the
been
years,
wonderful,
involved, they
yes.
understand now it's a comprehensive library system. Even though we have 6 different branches,
Absolutely.
we're all one library system.
And we'll get to your favorite part in a minute.
Okay.
But going back to what you said about the summer reading program, you know, it's interesting that you know, students, when they leave school for the summer, they often drop off in some of their reading, and so
the summer slide, they like to call it.
Yeah, and it has been instrumental in keeping their percentage points up when they come back into the school. But one thing, there was I can't remember the location, but there was a sheriff that actually used to take the 3rd grade reading levels in a community and review that, and then if there was a number of students that were falling below a certain level at 3rd grade, he would then calculate how many beds he was going to need in the jail later on, and so so that's how important 3rd grade reading levels are, and keeping those students engaged during the summer and keep those reading skills up.
Absolutely, and those numbers have gone up the last few years as far as
Absolutely.
participation. They've even expanded it down to infants who aren't reading, but it's that early literacy is important for parents to not only bond with their children, but get them exposed to books and hearing their voices and seeing the words on the page. And I know Children's Services Council is another big partner with us, as well as the Friends of the Library. And the Mets have usually donated tickets and prizes, and we've given away Kindles the past few years.
Yes.
One of the things that was interesting too is we did a program for the buses. For transportation.
Yep.
It was a couple years ago, but we said to the community and the students that, you know, if you get a library card, you can travel free on our transportation system. And I don't have the numbers, but I'm sure that Susan will be here later on to tell us, you know, how those numbers kind of unfolded, and they increased dramatically.
Yeah.
So
which helped predicate the eventual us waiving the fee entirely to show that there was a need in the community. Folks,
Absolutely.
need to get to these facilities. They don't have the means. Well, if we take away that barrier, and now ridership on our transit is at an all-time high, which will hopefully get us some additional state and federal funds to continue that program.
And along with that is the education component, and again, using the computers, printing out resumes, being able to send out those, doing those applications online. And St. Lucie County right now is about 3.6% unemployment, which is, from when I started, it was
in 2010, it was over 16.
Yeah, and 16.9, and so with all the things that the county has been able to do with the library system, with the help of the Friends specifically, especially when we had tough times, it was amazing for the results that we're seeing today.
Yeah.
And we still want to encourage that, because we realize that the missions of the libraries have grown, so that they are more than just going to read now. People do utilize them for the internet. People utilize them for all types of research and everything else. And so we really appreciate that, and we want to do all that we can to continue to supplement you.
It was funny. I was downtown in Fort Pierce, and I was going to a little eatery around the corner, and I saw 4 cars sitting there next to the library, and they had their laptops open, and they were getting the Wi-Fi in the parking lot.
I've seen people do that right there at the city marina, sitting out there on the bench. A beautiful day. Yep.
Yeah.
So. Well, we're running short on time, Mr. Pinckney. If folks are interested in becoming a member, if they missed the annual dinner, they can find out information about becoming a friend?
They can find out information by contacting Susan's office at the library, actually going on the county's website. There, we actually have a little scroll on the county's website. And if not, they can always contact me directly.
Make
I'm more than happy to give them my
bequest,
number.
or a bequest, right? That'll help
well,
too?
we're always looking for funds, because, again, like I said, it's important, especially even during good times. During bad times, we'd like to be able to step in, but even during good times, because there are additional needs. And so we take donations, we take artwork, or anything else that you give. We prefer cash, of course,
Sure.
but you can make bequests to us, and those have been the most substantial things. And we can do things that will honor you. We can have areas of the library designated for you in terms of from books that you donate to little sections. And so there are things that you can do that we can honor you or appreciate it. And some people, if you want to be anonymous, you can be anonymous too. So.
Yeah, the last time I was over at the library in the Fort Pierce one was Florida State Seminoles donated a number of books and so on, and I was able to be part of that
program.
Yeah.
Yeah. would be remiss if we didn't mention Ms. Carnell Clifton, who has been the president of the Friends of the Library for a long time. She couldn't make it on the show today,
right.
But she recently was recognized by a state organization.
She was. Carnell is a very active lady, and even though she's retired, a retired educator, she belongs to several organizations that have made great contributions. One of them is called the Links Incorporated, and she was one of the founding members for that organization here in St. Lucie County. And she's also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which again, she was one of the founding members for the graduate chapter here. And Carnell has served on not just this board, but she's also on the Library Advisory Board, and she is a wonderful historian just in terms of her memory from when she started. Yeah. So we were very pleased and we're lucky to have her because her institutional memory is wonderful.
And I had the honor to actually attend the Links luncheon, and these are very, very accomplished ladies, and to a person, they could not sing the praises of Ms. Clifton any higher. I mean, it was awesome to see and to actually be a part of it.
Well, thank you both for your time today. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in, Commissioner, with some tour that you recently gave with the Environmental Protection Agency, some federal officials that were down checking out the progress we've made in the Indian River Lagoon. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Recently, members of the Environmental Protection Agency's Region 4 Atlanta office spent several days touring the Indian River Lagoon to see firsthand some of the success stories where federal dollars have been spent. These funds have been matched with state and local dollars to create restoration projects to improve the health of the 156-mile estuary. Dr. Dwayne DeFries, Executive Director of the Indian River Lagoon Council, and St. Lucie County Commissioner Chris Sadowski, one of the founding members of the IRL Council, spent the better part of the day escorting the group around the lower part of the lagoon. The tour began at Florida Atlantic University's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute's Aquaculture Division, where the group saw how researchers are growing various seagrasses. The Indian River Lagoon is home to 7 different types of seagrass, which play a vital role in the habitat for fisheries, as well as a food source for marine life such as manatees. Following the tour at Harbor Branch, the EPA staff toured the Indian River Lagoon by boat to a spoil island project. EPA staff saw accessibility improvements which were added to a spoil island just off the inlet of Harbor Branch. Rubber mats along the shoreline create a stable area for those in wheelchairs to enjoy the picnic amenities and views of the water from the island. The group ended its tour at Wesley's Island, where St. Lucie County's Environmental Resources staff have removed exotic invasive vegetation such as Australian pine and replaced them with more than 10,000 native plants. St. Lucie County received more than $175,000 in funding for Wesley's Island, as well as more than $36,000 worth of in-kind support from volunteers. Some of this funding has come from the Indian River Lagoon National Estuaries Program, which is funded by the EPA, as well as the Florida Wildlife Commission, the Indian River Lagoon License Plate Fund, the St. Lucie Audubon, Florida Power and Light, and MMPS Environmental. In addition to its environmental restoration efforts, St. Lucie County's ERD staff has added recreational amenities such as an outdoor classroom. The trip provided the opportunity for the Indian River Lagoon Council to show firsthand local government success stories as well as reiterate their motto, one lagoon, one community, one voice. For more information about the Indian River Lagoon Council, visit onelagoon.org.
Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill. I'm joined once again by Commissioner Chris Sadowski. Thanks for sticking around. And Susan Jacob, our Director of the St. Lucie County Library System. Thank you so much for coming on. Susan usually sends her staff. You don't usually come on the show, but I appreciate you taking the time.
I had to pull rank.
I know. And Susan, recently at the Friends of the Library annual dinner, you had a great quote from Mark Twain about the rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated when it comes to libraries. And I love that because I hate when I hear, well, libraries are obsolete or nobody uses the libraries anymore, because my family, as you know, we use the libraries quite a bit. And I think there's proof. There's 732,000 people that use the libraries.
This year we had a great statistic. We 1,117 visitors. Almost 800,000 of them were in person, and then we counted over 300,000 virtual, or people who use our website or use our library from home. The myth of our demise is greatly exaggerated, but we have changed, and that is, I always like to measure the library both by our successes and the complaints. So the biggest complaint we get these days are that we're too noisy.
Well, yeah. When I was at the dinner, the luncheon, the dinner, I can tell you that when I heard those numbers, I was like, no, I have to have you on this show because you're right. I had some constituents come up to me, why do we still fund libraries? And this is the reason why. We're going to talk about the statistics, and I'm going to let Susan talk mostly about them because I know that she has them all right here. I have some cheat notes here, but nonetheless.
And before we get into that, though, I know you were talking to Patrick Pickney, Friends Treasurer, before, and I wanted to mention one of their big projects is that when the Paula A. Lewis Library opened in 2018, the Friends gave $300,000 to help put the core of that print library collection in. So we count on them both for really big donations, as well as in summer reading. It enabled us to use an online tool this year. They're our biggest supporters of the summer reading program.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the online tool, and I think, and the noise at the library, I think that's been the biggest transition I've seen in the 16 years I've worked for St. Lucie County is, obviously the technology's changed, and so, but so has the programming at the library. 16 years ago, my kids used to go to Storytime with Miss Judy in Lakewood Park, and also at the Fort Pierce with Miss Sally. But now it's more than just Storytime. You do special needs Storytime, special needs for adults. There's crafting. You got sewing machines at libraries now that I think is
bilingual Storytime.
Bilingual Storytime. But even this, I was amazed the sewing machine thing. And that when we posted that to the county's Facebook page, I couldn't believe the amount of traffic and excitement in the community from people. I'm excited if I knew how to sew, and I wish maybe you guys will do classes one day, and I'll take one.
Well, we're calling that part of our Lost Art series.
Okay.
So we have crochet. We are experimenting with sewing machines. The thing with libraries is we're doing everything we always did, and then there's a whole other layer on top of it. So we're doing more things for more people than we've ever done.
Yeah.
And that's the great part about our staff and how they've looked at life in the library system is always finding the next best thing to try and bring to the community that may not be available. The virtual games I thought were pretty amazing, and it's HD.
Yeah,
you put this headset on, and I was watching some of these kids, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then when I actually put the thing on, it scared me.
Well, we're a gateway, right? We see one of the things we do is we're a gateway to technology. So a family may be considering a Christmas present in virtual reality, but they want to try it out first. So you can try certain things out in our library, tablet technology, apps. We're the first stop for many people, for many families who, are on the borderline whether they can afford those things or not for their families.
And it still gives them the resources and outlets to check it out. And I think even the technology trainings that you all have done, there's been classes on cutting the cord. What are the options other than cable? There's been how to use
Hulu and Netflix
and Alexa. What do those digital assistants do and how they work, voice activated. And so, I think your staff has done a great job of offering variety, various times and days. The only complaint I see is there needs to be more on the weekend, but your guys are only open on Saturdays.
Right.
So, that's.
Well, if we continue to support the libraries, we can open up 4 days a week. So that's the key.
And we've really tried to listen to not impose what we think people should want to learn, to really listen to what our patrons want and then figure out a way to give it to them. And then the technology classes, the really robust offerings we have around the county is a really good example of that.
Just using your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Using your iPhone.
I got to either talk to a 12-year-old or go to these classes because I just don't understand my phone. So.
Susan, how do you guys engage and reach out to the library? I know this year you've even taken it one step further. There's kind of a monthly newsletter now that you all have started doing. Well,
this fall, we started something new because there was so much programming going around in all the different branches. We don't want you. We love what you have your branch, but we want you to visit all the other branches. So we put out a monthly newsletter of everything that's going on around the system. and it's everything from sewing to, we have a whole page. This is the December offering on technology classes. A good example, our little branch on Prima Vista Boulevard has a meeting room that only can fit 20 people. They did a podcasting class recently, and every single person who came to that class wasn't from that branch. They came from this newsletter because they wanted to learn how to podcast. I don't even know what podcast. No.
Yeah, that was one of the things when I first took over and became PIO. It seemed like branches were kind of segregated, and this is their branch, but it's not that big of a county. Like I said, my wife would take our kids to Lakewood Park, to Morningside. If there was a time available and the kids were bored, we'd go to story time, and get them engaged. So it's not that far of a stretch. I mean, from Lakewood all the way down to Lewis Branch is a bit of a drive, but if it's once or twice a month for something,
Well, see, here's where we combine the library with the ale and
Wine and Ale Trail.
Wine and Ale Trail.
No, they don't allow that at the library.
No.
I've already been kicked out
after
once.
you leave the library. Then, so.
Well, and we're not a big enough system to duplicate every program at every branch. So we played the long game there. I was here in 2010 when we really doubled down, and everybody kept the faith that things were going to get better. And here we are, 9 years later, and we're thriving. We're really thriving at this point.
Yeah, and then when you guys opened, the last branch we opened was the Lewis branch in 18?
2018, October 18.
2 years, and almost 2 years. I was amazed that the stat on that, there was 100,000 people within a 5-mile radius of that library.
That's correct, and that branch is our busiest branch.
And it hasn't deterred or taken too many people away from Morningside or Port St. Lucie, has it?
I would say no. It's more people.
And that was the interesting part about it. Again, thinking outside the box. This was a piece of property that Port St. Lucie had as a police substation.
Correct.
And they weren't going to be using it, and it was up for sale. And then the thought process was, because of the location of so many people, it made perfect sense. And then the library staff invested and created probably one of the nicest libraries we have.
And it's interesting, the funding for that branch is impact fee, library impact fee, which can only be used for library capital improvements. Then we received a $500,000 public library construction grant from the state, and then the Friends of the Library kicked in with their $300,000. So it really was it was a financial collaboration.
It's probably too early to look ahead and say, where's the next library going to be built? But if you had to say that, where do you think that would be?
Well, we are going to look this year at not a new library, but seeing what we could do to improve the Port St. Lucie branch on Prima Vista, which was
probably the smallest,
which was built in 1971, was originally 1,500 square feet. In the 80s, it went up to 4,400 square feet. So we're going to have not building yet, but looking at what we could do there, given how small the property is.
Maybe if we go all the way back and we can enclose the pool, we can have an indoor pool and library.
It would be innovative, for sure.
We'd have to get waterproof books. No tablets in the pool, right? Commissioner, what's the last thing you checked out of the library?
Actually, I checked in with about a dozen boxes of donated books, and you're still doing that, right? You're still collecting donated books?
Well, now we collect them and sell them for the Friends,
Yeah, and a lot of friends of mine who are attorneys and like, when's the next drive? When's the next drive? They don't use them all. They go through them very carefully and make sure that they're appropriate for our use. And if they don't, they go out to be sold. Probably about a dozen books.
Okay.
We're like looking through them. I wonder if there's any money in these books.
And it is, you mentioned too, you got community rooms that people can rent out and have meetings at, and they really are a resource for the community. I know a lot of the libraries have started, several of them have started Art Space now, where different artists there's a section in the library where artists can hang their artwork. You have a local author book fair. I don't want to say it's a book fair, but it's a local author book.
It is a book fair coming up this March. It's our fourth one. Multiple authors. We limit it to Treasure Coast authors, trying to promote our own very talented people in our community. The Art Space program is another example of that. Why Not Yeah. What's the term? Palace of the people. We want to be the place where you get to show your art, show your writing, give the class. A lot of our classes are taught by volunteers. That's another. The Friends every year host a really wonderful volunteer luncheon. We have a really successful ukulele group at Morningside, which is
still meaning to get down there.
Volunteer run. We have tax help, both from VITA, and then for many, many years the AARP has sent volunteers to multiple branches, and thousands of residents get their taxes done for free at no charge.
Yeah, and I know this year too, with the census coming up in March and April, we'll be using the library resources as well with the computers, because they're trying to get all the census done online now. You'll get a postcard in the mail with a code that you go on and fill out the census that way. So I'm sure, hopefully, we'll be utilizing the libraries for that if they haven't contacted you already.
Libraries around the country are going to be really active. We have plans to set up stations, so we're ready for people who want to fill out their census in the libraries, and they've been using the library's census people to have an information table to recruit people for these very good-paying jobs. Yeah. That'll be in the community.
Do we want to talk a little bit about the data that you've collected and you've shared at the recent dinner? Because when the folks at home hear some of the data points that have been collected as to the usage of the library, absolutely. It really drives home the value of our library system in St. Lucie County.
I have libraries have statistics more than you want. I'm just going to highlight them, but I did want to lead with that. We have 182,000 residents, have active library cards. When you think of it, was at around 63% of the population. That's a current statistic. That's phenomenal. Statewide, that puts us in the top 20% of people who are using their libraries. So that's a great statistic. Last year, 36,000 people attended one of our programs. That's, let's see, what else? We already talked about our 1,167,000 visitors. 50,000 people came in just to use the Wi-Fi, either in or outside in the parking lots.
Yeah, I had to share that. It was funny.
Technology instruction, 43,442 people had some sort of instruction on how to use a piece of technology.
And a lot of that you don't even need to go into the library for. And you have a digital resources section in the library where you can get training on your GED or your nurses program, or there's mechanics catalog, for old cars, and there's a database of newspapers. So
Stock Help, Morning Star, just about
the
genealogy,
the genealogy. They
foreign language, Rocket.
They helped me. They found out one of my ancestors was actually on the Queen Anne's Revenge. So I got ties to Blackbeard now.
I may have to come in because I just did my ancestry data, my DNA.
Yeah.
So I just got it back.
They'll do celebrities. They did me.
I don't know if I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, no, you're more of a celebrity.
But I will say that it's overwhelming what I've got in the documentation that Ancestry sent me.
Yeah.
So I have to come in and check that out.
And that's another good collaboration with volunteers. Treasure Coast genealogists volunteer 3 days a week. They're at the Kilmer Library in downtown Fort Pierce, and they're happy to help you if you come in and you want to research your family history. They'll spend more hours and hours with you, helping you.
And your hours and hours spent on your music. I
know
that you have your own music center now on your Facebook.
We do. Well, through the county, the library has a subscription through a company called Freegal, and they allow you to download 5 MP3s every week per library card, or stream up to 3 hours per day of music.
Wow.
So Mark Freed and Mark kind of pitched to me as a joke. He and I would always tell, like, what are you getting this week? What do you find this week? And he said, we should do a Wayne's World type show where we talk about the different music. I said, when do you want to come in and do it? He didn't think I was serious. So we've recruited a number of county staff, which has been fun. It's to show the public a different side of our employees, as well as people from the public. Vern Melvin with the former Guardia Ad Litem, huge blues fan. He's been on the show. Children's Services Council's director Sean Boyle's been on a couple times.
So. Then you do a vintage T-shirt thing too. I think
I've been trying to wear a different T-shirt every episode without going broke. So I've been scouring all the Goodwills looking for a rock T-shirt. So
And that Freegal database is a whole Sony catalog, so there's access to over 300,000 pieces of music of any type for any
classical
taste.
comedy albums.
Correct.
Even I was noticing on there, Sue, some comedian stuff. So I have to work that into the script. But
Very good.
anything else we didn't get to mention before we wrap up the show, Susan? I mean, you
just-
guys always, I guess, like Commissioner said, you're always forward thinking and looking at the next wave and making sure that you're responsive to the residents' needs, even to those that may not realize the benefits of the library. They're missing out.
Yeah. Really, we appreciate the support of the commissioners. This commission is very supportive of our public libraries. Friends of the library are always there for us. So we're just very appreciative of that.
Yeah, and I wanted to again say thank you to the Friends because without them we would have had a very difficult time during the recession, and it means so much to all of us.
Yeah, and to keep those open, like you said, I mean, if you have to shutter a building, there's still cost in keeping the air on to avoid mold, and then what do you do with all the books, and and then you break that continuity in those communities that really need a place for some of those kids to go, and even adults, like we said, there's tax time and looking for jobs and computer resources that are available. So
and sewing machines.
And sewing machines and copy machines, all kinds of antique stuff at the library, but also cutting edge stuff too. So thank you both for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you, Susan, for coming.
My pleasure, really. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Susan. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check out a recent event at the St. Lucie County Health Department.
Since 2010, the Jessica Clinton Foundation has been working with the Florida Department of Health in St. Lucie County, as well as other community partners, to host a free annual Know Your Heart screening event to any child or student between the ages of 5 and 20. The 2019 event, held on November 9th, allowed more than 600 students to receive a free screening that consisted of a heart physical, blood pressure check, an EKG, and an echocardiogram, if required as determined by a pediatric cardiologist. All services are provided on-site at the health department with the assistance of more than 60 medical volunteers from as far south as Miami-Dade County. It's the only comprehensive community heart screening held throughout the state of Florida. The Jessica Clinton Foundation's single focus is to prevent sudden cardiac arrest in children and young adults.
It is a joy to us to be able to help these kids and to make sure that parents don't deal with the same loss that we did, back in 2003. But again, we have our driving force always behind us, and she sees everything we do, and we feel good that we're being able to help people in her name.
Jessica died at St. Lucie Centennial High School following a cheerleading practice in 2003. She had a severe, undiagnosed heart condition which was not detected in routine physicals during her time as a cheerleader.
As far as with their kids, parents just need to be very aware that, just because they're young and they look healthy doesn't mean that they are. They need to question the doctor sometimes. A pediatrician is good, but they're limited in what they're able to provide as far as information. And it's always good to have at least a baseline heart screening for your child so that, you're not caught by surprise like we were.
Jessica's parents promised to keep her memory alive and to prevent similar tragedies from occurring by holding the Know Your Heart screenings and advocating and raising funds for AEDs or auto emergency defibrillators to be placed at all schools and parks. The event pulled in dozens of volunteers from the medical field, including professionals with the St. Lucie County Fire District, Cleveland Health Clinic, the Miami Children's Hospital Network, and students from Indian River State College's nursing program. For nearly a decade, these events have saved lives. Even if your child doesn't show signs of a heart condition, that doesn't mean one doesn't exist.
My mom, she was reading her emails, and it was about almost 3 years ago, and she was just going through some old emails, and she saw what the Jessica Clinton Foundation was doing, and we came in, and they saw me, and I was actually diagnosed with a congenital heart disease, and so it was just perfect timing for me to come, because then less than a month later I was being operated on, and ever since then I've been coming back to volunteer and help in any way that I can.
To see how you can get involved through donations or volunteer opportunities, or to attend a future heart screening event, visit the Jessica Clinton MVP Foundation online at jessicaclinton.org.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and we hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program, relating to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. If you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/stluciegov. For myself and the staff here at SLC TV, thanks for watching and have a safe and happy New Year.